Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Build Your Copywriting Business podcast. Hey there, Kate.
Hello, hello.
Hello. Now, far be it from us to hurry along the year. I will be the first one to tell you that I can't stand it when CVS puts Halloween stuff up in July
Now, yeah.
or, Christmas stuff up in, July. But the information that we have for you is going to be pertinent to the holidays. So if you will just bear with us, grant us this little bit of grace here when it comes to hurrying along the year, we want to talk about what your business is going to look like in the holiday season and what your business activities should look like in the holiday season.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of the big concerns for students is that, or I should say just students, but copywriters as a whole is, I don't want to bother business owners in November and December.
You're not bothering them. You're not annoying them by any means. Yes, it's busy, and yes, we're all, maybe a little split focus, if you will. But businesses are they're either already got their holiday marketing locked and loaded and they're looking to the new year, but they're always planning and looking for ways to move business forward. And some of them, quite frankly, if they're late to the game, might need more help during the holidays than non-holiday seasons. They might be looking for more support. They might have people out on vacation.
Yeah, I can tell you as a business owner, I'm always thinking about business. There's no, and I don't mean this in a bad way, like there's no time off. I mean it in you have to be constantly planning for your business and implementing in your business. And as much as I do enjoy the holiday season and I do try to take a little bit of time off, the business doesn't stop during the holidays. So I still expect to hear from vendors. We're working on projects. We're wrapping things up from I guess this will be 2022, but we're wrapping things up from the previous year. But also, as a copywriter who is considering pitching within the holiday season, you should know that business owners are also starting to plan for the next year, planning what their projects are going to be. They're starting to allocate their budget. And you, as a copywriter, want to be a part of that planning.
Mm-hmm. And quite frankly, I can't tell you, I've had so many freelance clients that I've worked with who all of a sudden it's toward the end of the year and they have lots of budget left and they're looking for ways to spend that budget. So even if they're not working on holiday related campaigns during that time period, the November, December time period, they're often looking for, okay, what are projects that we've kind of put on the back burner, put in our parking lot that we can get going and use up our budget so that it's used up by the end of the year. And so they're scrambling. And again, where that comes in is they might need more help where their team's working on the projects that they're already working on that have already been scheduled out. And there's additional money on top of that they need temporary extra support to use that up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Well, and I will say too, when we're thinking about holiday projects, if you are pitching in November and December, you are very likely too late to be part of their holiday projects, just because we know how long it takes to get a project kicked off, to get to write the copy, to get it approved, to get it into layout, depending on what it is. It's likely too late, and I think we have talked about this at least on Instagram. If you're not following us on Instagram or on Facebook, pop over. And then I think in one of the episodes as well, but if you're looking to pitch for holiday work, you're going to want to be looking at that in like August, September, because that's when when businesses are planning their holiday promotions. But again, they're still working in November and December, and they're planning for first quarter, but they may be planning for the whole next year. And if they're planning for the whole next year, you want to get in now to be the copywriter that they're planning these projects with.
Yeah. And I think one of the big fears of pitching during the holidays is you think, well, I don't want to have a busy, packed schedule. That's not why I became a freelance copywriter. I want to be able to take the holidays off, spend time with my family. I don't want to be working, maybe even if you're working full time, maybe you want to scale back to 20, 30 hours, what, 15, however many hours a week that you want that isn't full time. No one wants to work full time during the holidays. No one wants to work beyond full time at any time. So that fear of like, oh, if I pitch now, what if they write back and then but I don't want to start the project that I pitched right now. That's okay. Remember how long it sometimes takes for people to write back to your pitch. Or even if they write back right away and you hop on a discovery call, that doesn't mean you have to start things right away. You work with your client to say, hey, here's what works for my timeline. For me, I'm booked at least 2 weeks to a month out. I'm not going to start anything within that time frame. There's just no way.
And that doesn't change in December. It's the same thing if you're pitching in July
Mm-hmm.
and a client comes back to you, and it's very likely that it's not going to be an immediate project. They're not going to go, yes, we need you and we need this by tomorrow
Yeah.
afternoon. That's exceedingly rare, and it's very likely to remember that your clients have lives, and your clients have their home lives are busy and their work lives are busy. If you're talking in December, it's very likely that they are already booked up for December as
Mm-hmm.
well. But I do, and I know you do, Kate, as well, and plenty of other freelancers and service providers will have a lot of conversations in December, preparing for the new year, so that when everybody
Mm-hmm.
comes back from the holidays, they're right. There's maybe a day or two catching up on email, but then we're ready to hit the ground running, because there are now a whole new set of goals for the first quarter, for the new year. So you want to be in the conversations in December, so that, or November, whenever, so that you want to be in the conversations in December so that you could be in the projects in January, February, March. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's very rare, if I was going to say if ever, but there are always exceptions, but it's exceedingly rare that, especially a new client that you've just pitched, needs you immediately. And like Kate was saying, it's always a conversation anyway. If a client comes back to you and they say, we need you right now, you have the ability to say, I'm so sorry, I would love to work on this with you, but I don't have the availability at this moment. I can talk to you next week, or we can set up a call for next week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think just everyone knows, you've heard us say it, but we're going to say it again. When you stop pitching, that's not, the work doesn't stop right away, but that's when month, 2 months down the line, you see it hit. And so that's why we're talking about this now in particular, because it's one of the prime times that people kind of take a break from pitching, stop thinking about their business, again, are worried that they're going to be annoying business owners, or it's not the right time to pitch for them. It's not the right time, but it is the right time to keep pitching. We want you to have work come January and February, and not look back and think, oh shoot, why don't I have anything going on? So if you want to be, yes, you want to maybe take time during the holidays, but you want work in January and February, then you need to keep pitching in November and December. And maybe you're not pitching at the same volume or at the same level, but you need to still be getting things out in the world, planting those seeds so that you do have work when you want it.
Yeah. If you take a break from your business in December, your business is going to take a break from you in
Mm-hmm.
January and February and maybe into March. Yeah, absolutely. Well, and you can slow things down in your business, as in maybe September, October, well, maybe October, November, maybe you start slowing down the client projects that you take on, so that come December you have an opportunity to relax a little bit. You're not working on as many client
Mm-hmm.
projects. Obviously, plan it all out, make sure you're meeting your financial goals and needs. But if you're scaling back on client work in December, then you have more time that you can spend on pitching. And pitching is like sitting in the room sending out emails, right? Versus client work, you're interacting with the clients, you're thinking big picture. But it's pitching is almost like custom made for the cozy season, right? You're like sitting there with a mug of something warm and a blanket, and doing some research, putting together some notes, and sending out your pitches. You can still do that and do it regularly and have a perfectly lovely holiday season.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So the other thing we want to touch on too is it relates to the holidays is discounts. Do you need to give holiday discounts? And if you've heard us talk about, discounts in general before, or family and friends discounts, or anything like that, know that you do not have to ever discount your services. It's not something you need to do. And the one thing to think about is yes, like e-commerce, there's plenty of, Black Friday sales and deeply discounted clothing and items and whatever. But as service providers, we don't really have a markup on what we do.
Yeah.
So those companies have built in that markup so that they can discount their items. That is part of their marketing strategy that is all planned. That's not by accident. So if you have something that's normally, your project pricing for something is normally 1200 and you're saying, "Oh, and now but during the holidays you can get this for, 750 or 850 or whatever the pricing is, whatever your discount." Your client's going to see that and think, "Well, if they can do this work at this price, why should I ever pay their normal rate?
Mhm.
What incentive is there for me to ever pay full price?"
Yeah. It implies that your numbers are made up and that there's nothing solid behind them, and it encourages your clients to try to bargain with you, because
Mhm.
if they know that it's possible to get a discount in December, then why on earth wouldn't it be possible to get a discount in January or July? So it practically asks your clients to bargain with you and try to get you at a lower rate, and that's a really dangerous place to be. And it also it implies that it implies a lack of value in our services as
Mhm.
well. Instead of us coming and saying, "This is my rate, I am your partner," it makes us more of a commodity. Oh, in December you can get 20% off. That's not how a partner operates. That's how you sell a sweater. You
Mhm.
know, it devalues the work that we do, because you're still going to give the full, and also it penalizes yourself. You are still going to give the full level of skill and insight and strategy and amazing copy that you always would, except you're getting paid 20% less for it. You are, and you made that choice to pay yourself 20% less for it. And like we said, it's not necessary. No client, no quality client is going to be expecting a holiday discount, which when you think about it, it's arbitrary anyway. Why would there be,
Mhm.
it's not like you're not a toy maker. Um, why would there be a discount on the holidays just because? Now, can you run
Promotions?
exactly,
Yeah.
special promotions, maybe Black Friday, maybe in December? You absolutely can, but that doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be a discount. You can talk, you can offer your services and make them sound enticing and make them sound like special new things without them actually having to be a discount. You can talk about, "Hey, for the month of December, I'm offering strategy sessions for X amount, so that you're set up for the new year." And that doesn't have to be discounted at all. But hey, it's a special promotion for December to set you up for the new year. When you get creative about it, which is what we do, right? We are creative and we are strategic. You can find ways to attract, but that's also something you could do. You could offer it in June and say, "All right, we're doing special strategy sessions, so you're set up for the second half of the year," all that kind of stuff. You can find special ways to make your work more enticing and to make it a little bit more exciting if you want to, without having to discount, without having to. That's literally money out of your pocket. You are
Yeah.
taking money out of your own pocket, and it's not necessary.
Yeah. And just to drive the point home, think about it. If someone's selling a sweater for $50, it costs them $5 to make. They discount it for $35, they're still making a profit. they're still turning a profit.
Mm-hmm.
Versus us, that's not how our prices work. So again, you're just eating into your own revenue, which
Mm-hmm.
we don't want to do. We have value to offer. The value that you offer hasn't changed from October to November to December. Like, it's the same value. There's still literally nothing's changed. Your copy can still help the business.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like a sweater in July where, yeah, like that, there's no, and I apologize to our Australian and Southern Hemisphere friends who are like, this is not how that works for us. But for those in the Northern Hemisphere, yeah, you don't need the sweater in the off season. So of course it's going to be harder to sell. A discount makes sense for them to try to sell it. Our services year round they're the same. They're the same.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. So, moral of the story, keep
pitching.
Keep pitching. And I know you're like, oh no, I hear that all the time. Yes.
But especially during the holidays.
Yes. And you hear it all the time, but are you continuing to pitch? So keep pitching and don't stop during that. If you want to have work in January and February and March, assuming you do, don't stop pitching. You can adjust your schedules. Obviously, as the year winds down, we all kind of want to spend a little bit more time with our families. Adjust your schedule, absolutely, but don't stop. Because if your business stops, remember, if you are a freelancer, or even if you are a part-time freelancer, if your business stops, if you stop doing the work, then you stop making money. And I know that sounds obvious, but we really need to reflect on that, because the things that we do daily are the things that bring in money. If we stop doing them, money stops coming in.
Yeah. And CCA students, you maybe know why Pitchapalooza happens in January now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
By design.
Always thinking about it. Okay, so you're going to keep pitching. And I know this is a little bit early, but so you're ready to keep pitching. You're prepared to keep pitching throughout the holiday season so that you have working them up. Also, you're not going to discount any of your services. It's not necessary, and there are a whole litany of reasons why it's a bad idea. So with that, we will catch you in the next episode. Bye, everybody. Like what you heard? Hit subscribe so you never miss a video. And if you're ready to take the first step toward becoming a copywriter yourself, sign up for a free video training right here.